why are we, in your estimation, seeing more upsets than ever before? Third straight year, 11th time ever only, but third straight year, 15's popped off a 2. UMBC now has company with Fairleigh Dickinson as a 16 seed to knock off a 1. Why are we seeing that more recently, Jay, do you think?
Well, we've only seen the 16 seed do it twice. One was 2018 when Virginia lost to UMBC, and Virginia was missing one of its best players, DeAndre Hunter, got injured right before that, and that was certainly a factor. I mean, they got beat by 20, so when it started going downhill on them, they didn't know how to get out of it. The Purdue one was inexplicable. I mean, Fairleigh Dickinson, you have to give them a lot of credit because they won. But you also have to place blame where it should be placed, and that's on Purdue. I mean, I don't think because there are a lot of people saying, wait a minute, Fairleigh Dickinson was a better team. No, they won on that day. You don't want to take that away from them. But come on. I mean, that Fairleigh Dickinson was ranked 275th in the country in all the metrics, and that's after they jumped up by beating Purdue. I don't even know where they were. They were around 300. And they were ranked 353rd in the country in adjusted defense. That was inexplicable. And I don't think anybody said after Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson that Buster Douglas is just the better fighter. No, you said, look, Mike Tyson was terrible. And that's what happened to Purdue. And it's 3 years in a row now for Purdue losing. They lost 3 years ago to a 14 seed, North Texas, lost last year to a 15 seed, St. Peter's, and this year to a 16 seed. And, right now Purdue fans should be hoping they don't expand the field and get 17 seeds in there because that's hard to explain.
So you're saying it's just circumstances, Princeton beating Arizona and Purdue going down to Fairleigh Dickinson, and it's not, I guess, the proliferation of better talent across the country?
Yeah.
Jay?
Well, that may be part of it because Princeton has some really good shooters and they can spread you out a little bit, but what Arizona did, I mean, you could see it in the game. Arizona got scared, and they started playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And, when you go into those games, there's a reason that the records of these games are heavily toward the higher seed. Like what is the 15 seed won in history? Like 11 or 12 games? And those teams are better than the 16 seeds, substantially better. And so you're gonna face a team that can play, but you should still win those games. And there are too many games you're seeing, like Arizona. That was a close game, and Arizona just wilted. And Princeton played with nothing to lose. Now their next game, Princeton just spread out Missouri. They were just better than Missouri at playing their way. So Princeton's very good. But I don't think anybody putting money on Princeton to win the whole thing. Like, I don't think anybody's saying, hey, they're the best team. But man, they're really good. And it had to hurt people from Missouri that Ryan Langborg, who sounds just like Langmore from Ozark, the Langmores, stuck it to Missouri. That was poetic.
Mm-hmm. Look at you going Netflix on me. I didn't see that one coming. Jay?
I'm going below deck next. As soon as the tournament's over, I'm going to catch up on below deck.
Or Tiger King, huh? How about Princeton? There you go. How about that? Look at me making connections right there. I mean, what's the Princeton odds right now?
Princeton is 16th. They have the worst odds, 150-1, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, Princeton's good, and they've done a great job, but it's kind of like at Wimbledon or something. If some tennis player ranked 100th in the world makes it through to the quarterfinals, nobody's saying, hey, they're just as good as Roger Federer. That's not the way this works, but it's somehow the way, like in this populist notion of the tournament, people like to say, hey, aha, they're just as good. They've done an amazing job, and Mitch Henderson's a great coach. And they play a difficult style to contend with in a one-game scenario. But I think it's going to be more – when you have a week to prepare for it, I think it makes it more difficult for Princeton.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.